As drivers, we constantly make all kinds of mistakes, so in this video I will tell you what you shouldn't do. Don't rest your arm on the gear shifter. You'll add extra pressure on the lever and on the gear selector, and you may add extra wear to it. So after you shift gears, simply take your arm off the gear shifter and keep your hands on the steering wheel. It's much better. Don't start from standstill without adding any gas at all. You should add some gas. If you start from standstill without adding any gas at all, you will basically add extra wear to the flywheel. It doesn't matter if the car is a gasoline or a diesel. This happens more frequent in diesel cars, as the torque of the engine will help you start easier from standstill. Don't start from standstill by adding too much gas. If you're always starting from standstill at 3000 RPM or even more, you will add extra wear to the clutch disc. By using too much gas, the clutch disc will have a greater speed than the pressure plate speed, so when they engage together, it will cause a greater friction force, which will add excessive wear to the clutch disc. Shift gentle when the engine is cold. This is available especially if outside there are minus 10 degrees, let's say, if it's extremely cold. The oil in the gearbox is very thick, and if it's cold outside, it will be even thicker. What this means is that when you shift gears, it will be harder for the driver to shift. And at the beginning, before the gearbox oil will warm up a bit, shift gentle. Don't drive aggressively. You can drive aggressively with a manual transmission, but wait until the oil warms up. The oil would be warm after about 10 to 15 minutes after the coolant and the engine oil would reach the optimum operating temperature. Don't put the gear shifter in reverse if the car isn't at full stop. If it's moving at 2-3 kilometers per hour, it's enough for the gearbox to make a spur noise. That's because the reverse gear doesn't have a selector like you do when you drive forward. So when you're going forward, you have gear selectors which synchronize the gear itself, so you don't have any noise, everything is smooth. But when you shift in reverse, you don't have that gear selector, and if you don't put the gear shifter in reverse when the car isn't at full stop, it will make a spur noise and you can actually damage the gearbox. Don't keep the clutch pedal pressed at light stops. I've seen lots of people doing that, but they don't know that they're adding extra wear to the bearing and the pressure plate. When you're getting close to a light stop, simply put it in neutral and wait until the light turns green. You don't need to keep the clutch pedal pressed. It's useless. Don't under rev the engine. You don't have an automatic. The automatic transmission will downshift and upshift when it's necessary, especially if you want to accelerate harder. But in a manual transmission, you're responsible for shifting all the gears. So don't be lazy and downshift when it's necessary. For example, if you have 30 kilometers per hour and you're in third gear, don't floor it. Shift in second and then you can accelerate. If you're going to constantly under rev the engine, you'll create resonance and vibrations inside the engine, and you can damage the crankshaft and the camshaft. So this is available for both gasoline and diesel engines, but especially in diesel engines where vibrations are much higher. So simply don't be lazy. Downshift and then accelerate. Don't accelerate hard when you have below 1500 RPM. I hope that this video will make you a better driver. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.